Welcome back to the Cardman's Cards. I'm the Cardman, and today we're going to be doing an interesting deck profile. It is going to be Onomat Mitsurugi or Mitsurugi Onomat, however you want to word it. You can call it Utopia, Onomat, whatever. But due to how you make rank 4s, you can automatically just bridge into Feral Imps. And I do hope this deck stays playable up until Doom of Dimensions, or Spooky Dude, if you know how to word that. Just so I can use Automatakage, which is a good tie-in due to the fact it's a dark reptile, like the other Mitsurugi names. They're all dark reptiles, except Sword. But Sword's just like, I'm here. So let's go ahead and get into the names and see what they do. And I'll explain how the deck all works together. First up, we have Dodododo Warrior. He's a level 6 Earth. Whenever you can send a Dododo monster from your deck to grave to summon him. Then he becomes level 4. His attack becomes 18. Then whenever all the new Onomat cards are detached, so Dodododo Warrior, Zubababa Knight, Gagaga Ganbara Knight, Gogogo Goblindbergh, they all have the similar effect. When they detach, they add the next one in the cycle. For example, Dodododo Warrior, he adds a Zubaba monster when he's detached. He is your main starter card. He basically is, you play him 3. Because you have to. He is the starter. Without him, most of your lines don't work as well, because you wouldn't have to use your normal summon just in case you... And if you open one of the Mitsurugi names without Habakiri, these kind of suffer. So you basically want to hopefully start with Dodododo Warrior. Next up, we have Zubababa Knight. He's a level 3 Earth Warrior. When he's normal or special summoned, you can add a Zubaba monster. Your deck to your hand except itself and becomes a level of the added monster. So targets in the deck can consist of Zubababancho Gagagacoat, Utopic Onomatopoeia, and hopefully soon Automatakage. Becomes that level. And then he has a secondary, he doesn't have a secondary effect, but a different effect on his summon. You can destroy one level 4 or lower position monster your opponent controls. So this is good inherently if you don't need the additional body, but you just need to pop a card your opponent has. This hasn't really come up for me ever, but it's up there. And then he has the same detach effect as the other ones. When detached, he adds a Gagaga card. Next up is Gogogo Goblindbergh, level 4 Earth Warrior. When he is normal summoned, you can special summon one non-warrior Gogogo monster from your hand, deck, or grave. Then in this card's attack position, change it to defense position. For all the rest of the turn, you can have someone except from the extra deck. I do believe all of the new ones, Gogogo and Dodo, lock you into Xyz, which is fine because the entire extra deck are Xyz monsters. But then whenever he is detached, he adds a Dododo monster. So he adds the Warrior. Warrior add Knight add Ganbara add Gogogo add Warrior. Next up is Gagaga Ganbara Knight, a light level 4 warrior. Whoa, light! Shocker! You can reveal one Gagaga monster in the extra deck, so it would be Magician, Girl, Cowboy, any of the Gagaga monsters in the extra deck. There's like 3 or 4. You mainly run 2, which is Girl and Magician. You summon him, and then you apply one of the following effects. First one Gagaga monster from your hand, which again is your 2 Bancho, your Onomatopoeia, and hopefully Automatakage, because he counts as all 4. And then, or you can change position of a monster. Sometimes that has to happen just because you don't have another Gagaga to summon him with, so sometimes you just manually have to change position of a monster. It's not the end of the world, it's just kind of weird when it happens. And as I just said, whenever he's detached from material, he adds the Gogogo Goblindbergh, or Gogogo monster if you would like to run others. I was running Gogogo Gigas in the pure list, but due to the combination, you don't really need the extension name here. Next up, we have 2 Zubababancho Gagagacoat. You could definitely run this at 1 if you're so inclined. I feel 2 is really nice, especially if you need to get one for the Gagaga Ganbara Knight combo, just to get this card active and live. It's really nice to have him so you get 2 4s pretty easily. The other one is just for inherent cycling with the rest of the cards, so you can basically summon Resurrect, summon from hand, stuff like that. just to get his regular effects. This is just basically an additional name. You could replace this for Kage. You could replace this for any other card, really. But I like running the 2 Bancho. His effects are, if you control Zubaba or Gaga, except himself, and then his cards in the hand, you can just free summon them. And then you can target a Gogogo or Dododo in the grave, summon them from the grave, and you can only summon Xyz monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, which is fine. So he locks you in Xyz, but basically he gets you 2 bodies just off himself. And then we can go on to the next one, which is Dodododwarf Gogogogloves, which is a level 4 Earth. He's a rock, not a warrior. You can add him off a Gallant Grant, which certain iterations did that. He is, whenever he's during the main phase, you can summon a Zubaba or Gaga from your hand if you control another Gogogo or Dododo monster, except itself. Sorry, let me rephrase that. When he's on the field, you can just summon another Zubaba or Gaga from hand, and then while he's in the grave and you control another Gogogo or Dododo, you can resurrect him from grave. But he banishes when he leaves the field, which is fine because you're going to use him for overlay material anyways, so that really does never come up. And then lastly, we have Utopic Onomatopoeia as your regular standard names. The other 2 names you see are just combo pieces that don't necessarily you want to summon. Utopic Onomatopoeia is a light level 4 warrior. He's always treated as Zubaba, Gaga, Gogo, and Dodo. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 each Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dododo monster, except Utopic Onomatopoeia from your hand defense position. Also summon from extra deck for the rest of the turn next to Xyz. So basically, normal summon, you can summon all names. Basically, 1 of each. Basically, you normal summon Utopic Onomatopoeia, effect, summon. But that effect only really get rid of 1 or 2 names, unless you absolutely have to. There was a game where I opened Bancho and Dwarf and Onomatopoeia. Basically, these were like the 3 combo names you played into. And these 3 can cycle themselves pretty easily to get like 3 or 4 Xyz just by themselves. So what you do is normal summon Onomatopoeia, summon Bancho resurrect. Summon both of these, overlay those 2. This will come back, Bancho will resurrect, and you can basically cycle these cards really easily. Next up is one of the ZW monsters. This is ZW Pegasus Twin Saber, light level 4 beast. Sorry, level 5 beast. You can only control 1 ZW Pegasus Twin Saber. He isn't effective if opponent's life points are 2,000 or higher than yours. You can just summon it from the hand, which never comes up. And you can target 1 Utopia monster you control, equip this card to it, and the equip spell that gives it 1,000 attack, which is nice. Once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can negate a monster effect in your opponent's field. This activates in resolution to an effect. So say, for example, your opponent activates Ritual Detonator. It would go to resolve, and then you can negate the effect. It doesn't activate. It doesn't trigger another chain. So it just negates the effect without trigger. And for the last Onomat name, or Utopia Sage, whatever you want to call it, is Ascended Sage. He's a light level 4 warrior. You control no cards. Specifically, no cards. I got caught up in this a little while ago. I forgot it was no cards. That was just no monsters. You can summon this card from your hand for free. And then if a Utopia Xyz monster is summoned with this card, gains the effect to add 1 rank up normal spell from your deck to your hand. You could easily cut Armored Sage and Twin Pegasus for more extension, more generic names, whatever you would like. I like the combo line that it gives, giving you 3 negates just off of these 2 cards alone. But yeah, that's all for the Onomat names. I'll quickly go over Kage just to have it here, just in case this list makes it the whole way to then. Onomata Kage is a dark reptile level 4. He is treated as a Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dododo. You control Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo monster, and this card in your hand or grave. Special summon this card or banishment leaves the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard, return 2 Xyz monsters from your grave to the extra deck. So each effective Onomata Kage once per turn. So this basically allows you for 1 more piece of extension. So say you pitch it off of Onomatopaira, or you need to send it to grave for the effect of Habakiri. Because it's a reptile, you can summon it off of Habakiri and just pop it if you already have Saji or something in hand. And then he can resurrect himself from grave. But yeah, he basically lets you play more into the Mitsurugi cards, but have to worry about popping your other Mitsurugi names if you already have him, which is pretty good. Yeah, I just want to go over Kage just in case this doesn't get that far, because then Kage just sits here in the non-existing quite yet. So, Mitsurugi cards. I'm assuming everyone knows what the Mitsurugi cards do, but I'll quickly go over them just for the sake of a deck profile. We have Amano Habakiri no Mitsurugi, Dark level 8 Reptile Ritual monster. You can summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. Monsters your opponent control loses 800 attack. And then he has once per duel effect. Reveal this card in your hand. So summon one Mitsurugi monster, then tribute one monster you control. If you only each effect of Mitsurugi, this effect of Mitsurugi Amano Habakiri no Mitsurugi once per duel. And then all the ritual Mitsurugi names has this effect. If this card is tributed, add one Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except itself, and then you can summon this card. There's each effect of Habakiri, Amano Habakiri no Mitsurugi once per turn. So basically, he is your main starter. You reveal Habakiri, you summon in one of the names, add the spell, and then go off. That's why he's a 3. And then the most annoying card of the deck, well, unless you're playing Pure. Pure has a really annoying card, being Futsu. But this one is no Amano Murakumo no Mitsurugi. You can ritual summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. This card is special summon. You can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can activate this effect. Your opponent can discard one card, or the effect is negated. So basically, you can force your opponent to pitch a card, or the effect that they activated resolves negated. So he's pretty good. He's an interruption and a Regeki, all on the same card, and then he's saying the same effect as the other two rituals, which if he's tributed for a card effect, you can add a Mitsurugi card, then summon him. And then on to the little guys, which I'm running one of each. You don't necessarily need more of any of them, which is Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi. This card is no more special summoned, or if this card is tributed, make sure you remember that, you can target one Mitsurugi card in your grave or banishment, except Mitsurugi no Kusanagi, add it to your hand. If another reptile is destroyed by battle card effect, you can tribute this card instead. So basically, if another reptile will be blown up by card effect, you can just send Kusanagi instead. Does not apply if the entire board is getting wiped, because it sees it as both being destroyed, not just a reptile being destroyed. I figured that out just the other day. Or I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Next up, we have Aramasa. He's a level 4 Dark Reptile. When he's normal summoned, normal, special, or tribute, you can add one Mitsurugi monster from your deck to hand except itself, and it has the same effect as Kusanagi. If another reptile will be destroyed by battle card effect, send this card instead. So he added your monsters. Kusanagi adds from grave or banish. And the one that everyone knows and everyone hates is Saji. Saji is a level 4 Dark Reptile. Whenever this card is normal, special, or tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi spell trap from your deck to your hand. And if another reptile monster will be destroyed by battle card effect, you can tribute this card instead. So, basically, it allows you to add your ritual card. So basically, you go Habakiri into Saji, Saji add your ritual, and then ritual summon the Habakiri, and then your just line starts to cycle from there. So that's basically the normal combo line. And then last but not least, we actually have another reptile that everyone runs in any Mitsu variant or even pure, just because it's a good extender. Is Night Sword Serpent. He's a water level 4 reptile. If this card is sent to grave by card effect for summon this card, but banishment leaves the field, which never really happens because you always use this for an Xyz during your Mitsu lines due to the fact that prayers can resurrect a level 4. So that is it for the mainline names. I run several hand traps, which I'll go over quickly. We have Mulcharmy Fuwalos. This is level 4 Winged Beast. You control no cards. Quick effect. You can discard this card from your hand and apply to each of the effects. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the deck or extra deck, immediately draw one card. You can chain these together because you can activate one Mulcharmy card and one more Mulcharmy card after you activate Fuwalos. And then, once during the end phase, if the number of cards in your hand is more than the number of cards your opponent controls plus 6, you must randomly shuffle cards from your hand into the deck, so the number in your hand equals the number your opponent controls plus 6. Which has only happened like 7 or 8 times the entire time I've been playing this list. Because typically your opponent just gives you a Futsu and you just make your full board and your opponent draws like 17 cards or 20. Because they don't draw anything, or you already have negates on the field that mitigate what they're drawing anyways. You can run 3 Fuwalos if you like. I found 2 is fine. 3 is just kind of like, hey look, I want to make sure I see Fuwalos. 3 Ash, which is a level 3 Fire Zombie Tuner. And whenever your opponent adds, summons, or sends a card from deck to grave, you can pitch this card to negate that effect. And then for the spells, we have 2 Onomatopaira. I feel 2 Para is pretty good because if you open one, great. If you get the ability to search a second one, then you're doing something very, very good or very, very bad. There's no middle ground with these cards. Basically, oh, I need cards, Para. Oh, I need monsters now, Para. When this card is activated, you send 1 card from your hand to the grave. Really good with Kage. And then choose 2 of the from the categories. Each of the chosen categories, add 1 monster from the category, which is Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dododo. Adds any of the names, but you have to be careful due to the effect of the doubles here of Zubababancho Gagagacoat and Dodododwarf Gogogogloves. You can technically add 2 copies of either of these, but you have to make sure you choose correctly, because if you go to add Zubaba, you have that choose Gagaga to get the other one. But you can add both of these technically at any point off of Para. Next up is Pickup, which is adds an Onomat card. You currently run 3 Onomat cards, excluding itself. Kage will be 4, which I'm so excited for Kage. But this basically is just another copy of Pickup. Sorry, Para. Excuse me. Pickup allows you just to inherently add Para, and if you already have Para, grab you Onomatopoeia, Utopic Onomatopoeia, or soon Kage. And then once per turn, you can this has come up, so pay attention. You can target 1 Zubaba, Gaga, Gogo, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of the turn, even if this card leaves the field. I've had turns where I had to summon Dodododo Warrior off of the effect of Utopic Onomatopoeia, and had to manipulate its level due to Pickup to make it a 4 to make another Xyz to continue my plays, which is kind of nuts, but it does happen. And then the last 2 Onomat spells we run, which are Hyper Rank Up Magic Utopiforce, which is target a rank 9 or lower Utopia Xyz monster. There's someone 1 rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that monster as material. As a trees an Xyz summon, transfer materials from someone monster. An Xyz monster you control. Xyz monster special summon by a rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster while this card's in the grave. Except during damage step, you can target 1 special summon monsters. Attach this card as a material. You know, each effective hyper rank up magic Utopiforce once per turn. So basically, you target any of your lower Utopias, make it go up, and then whenever you summon a monster off their effects, you can attach it as material so they get their effects. And lastly is Double or Nothing. This is your OTK card. If your opponent throws a giant monster over you and you have to beat over it, you make Utopia double. Go Utopia. Swing for 10,000. They die. And you win the game. Pretty easy. I've never had the OTK come up quite yet, just due to the fact that my opponent has never let me do it, or I've already cycled through Double or Nothing. Some people I've seen are running 2 double and 2 double or nothing for this very reason. I find 2 double and 2 double or nothing very bricky, because you either open one, or you open both. I've had it happen. It stinks. It's not fun. One's fine. You want to cut Double or Nothing and Utopia double? You can. You have no reason to run it. You make enough 4s in this deck anyways, you don't have to cycle into it. And alrighty, 2 Mitsurugi spells. We run 3 Mitsurugi Prayers, which is a quick play spell card, so you can activate it in the draw or standby phase, so you can mitigate draw. When you activate this card, you contribute 1 reptile in your hand or field, so you can you contribute Kage from this. Apply one of these effects, or if you tribute a reptile at activation, you can apply both in sequence. Add a Mitsurugi monster from deck to hand. Take 800 damage from summon 1 Mitsurugi monster from your hand or grave, but it cannot attack directly. So this lets you basically add a monster, summon a monster, and protect a monster all in the same card. Prayers is the only other card I can see being hit on an upcoming ban list, which, if some point in the near future, they said after World is over, still no ban list. But yeah, Prayers is amazing. It's an easy 3 of because if you see Prayers, you get full Mitsurugi combo. It's awesome. Next up is Mitsurugi Mirror, also an amazing card. It's a ritual spell. This card can be used for ritual summon of any reptile ritual monster, which only the Mitsurugis are. Those are the only ones that are reptile. You contribute reptile monsters from your hand or field whose level equal combined level of ritual monster. If Amano Murakumo no Mitsurugi, Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi, and Amane no Habakiri no Mitsurugi you control is distributed, while this card is in your grave, you shuffle this card into the deck. Each effective Mitsurugi mirror once per turn. So, the ritual is from hand or grave, so it's like Meteorus Drytron, which is awesome, and it has a way to recur itself, so you can inherently just keep ritualing summon from grave really easily, especially due to the fact that whenever the Mitsurugi names are tributed, they can add a Mitsurugi card. So basically what you can do is use Prayers, tribute like a Habakiri on field, trigger Mirror in grave, put Mirror back, summon something off of Prayers, and then the effect of Mirror, and then the effect of Habakiri, add back the Mirror, summon back Habakiri, Mirror effect, tribute whatever you have to, summon Murakumo from grave, or something along those lines. Very helpful, very good, easily searchable. Don't have to run more than one. And then Mitsurugi Ritual, another really good card. Both ritual spells in this deck are really good. This card can be used ritual summon any reptile ritual monster. Again, there's only 3 the Mitsurugi names. But you can each effect the Mitsurugi ritual once per turn. Summon reptile ritual monster from your deck by attributing reptile monsters from your hand or field whose level equals the total level of the ritual monster. So if you summon from deck, you can use field or hand. You summon from hand, you can use hand, deck, or field, which is the other effect. You can ritual summon from a reptile monster from your hand by attributing up to 2 reptiles from your hand, deck, or field. So basically, this lets you ritual summon from everywhere, which is awesome. Makes the deck very hyper consistent and makes the Mitsurugi engine very good and very easily accessible. Because you really only need to run 8-9 cards in any deck, and they basically play into themselves. There's a current bridge problem in most decks. That's why everyone's running King. If you cut King, then you're just kind of locked out of most of this. But it's whatever. You could just inherently just run more Mitsurugi cards and hope you see them, which some people are doing. Next up, we have 2 pre-preparation of Rites. This card adds 1 ritual spell from the deck to the hand, and 1 ritual monster from your deck or grave to your hand whose name is mentioned on the ritual spell. Activate 1 pre-preparation of Rites once per turn. This plays really well into Mirror because Mirror mentions all the rituals. So you can add any of them off the effect of pre-preparation Rites. 3 I found is too abundant. Like, you want to see it, but you don't always want to open it because then it turns your regular plays off. Next up, we run 1 Call by the Grave. This is just to mitigate hand traps and prevent anything of the site to be stopped. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster opponent's grave, banish, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of the monsters with the same original name. This card's crazy, which is a bit more understand why it's at 1. And unfortunately, a newcomer to the 1 list is Crossout Designator. Came on the list a little while ago, but still sad. Crossout Designator is another quick play spell. You can declare 1 name, banish 1 of the declared name from your main deck, and if you do, negate its effects, as well as the activated effects and the effects on field with cards of the original name. You can only use until the end of the turn. You can only activate 1 Crossout Designator per turn. So Crossout Designator, you can declare any name, so you can hit multiple cards. You can hit any card in the deck. So for example, say my opponent nibs my warrior. Not nib, nibs my board. I can activate cross, call nib. My opponent doesn't resolve nib. Nib gets banished. Nib gets negated. Imperm. Prayers. Any name that you can inherently declare, crossout can work. That's why I got put to 1, because in the mirrors, this card's amazing. Because your opponent will be like, activate prayers, activate cross, call prayers. And your opponent's prayers won't resolve. They don't have its activated Mitsu cards. So yeah, that's why they're both at 1. And last up are just a couple hand traps, which is Infinite Impermanence, Target Negation, from the hand, and if this card's set, when you activate it, the entire spell and trap column is negated as well. And then that in the same column as the Imperm. So basically, negate from hand, target a monster, negate, and then if it's set, flip, negate the whole spell trap column. You can easily run 3, but I find running the searchable counter for the deck is better, just for the fact of when you do make girl, and you don't necessarily need the additional names. This is really nice to have because it's inherently just an Omni, which is Xyz Unbreakable Barrier. It's a counter trap. When your opponent activates spell trap or monster effect is activated while you control a Xyz monster. Negate the activation. Then you can detach 2 materials, an Xyz monster you control, destroy 1 monster on one card on the field. And you can banish this card from your grave, target 1 Xyz monster you control, attach 1 light Utopia Utopic Xyz monster from your grave to it. You can use each effect of Unbreakable Xyz Barrier once per turn. So this is an Omni, basically allowing you to just inherently negate your opponent's board at will or whatever you need to. And you can inherently pop a card too. And there's plenty of material going around that you can easily do that. That's not an issue. And next up is just the extra deck. Let's go ahead and go into the extra deck, which is number F0, Utopic Future, which is a light warrior. He is a towers, cannot be destroyed by battle or destroyed by battle. Neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the other damage step of this card, a battle opponent's monster, you can take them control of the monster. To the battle phase, this face-up card in the field, destroy battle card effects, you detach material from this card instead. And then that goes up into Utopic Draco Future, which is a light warrior, 3k, 3/2. You can use a original. You can summon this over F0 Utopic Future. You control his material, transfer material to this card. Once per turn, your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, negate the effect, and then take the monster. And up to the new to the Utopic F0 cards is number F0 Utopic Future Zexal Light Warrior 0/0. I'm like, why is he 0/0? He's terrible. No, he's pretty good. He requires 2 Xyz monsters with the same rank. Any 2, so not as restrictive as Utopic Future, but not inherently as great. Gains attack and defense equal to combined ranks of all Xyz monsters you control. And in your opponent's graveyard, times 500. Your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Also, your opponent cannot target other cards in the field with card effects. Once per turn, your opponent activates a card or effect on the field. Quick effect, you can detach one material on this card. Take control of 1 monster your opponent controls. Also, the rest of the turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So, he gets huge, and then he can only be attacked and targeted for card effects. Which is pretty good. Basically, just inherent, just, hey look, you gotta do everything to me, but you can't inherently interact with me. And then we have 1 Tornado Dragon, which is a rank 4 Wind Worm. Once per turn, detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell trap on the field, destroy it. It's just spell trap removal. It's all it's really ran for. Utopia Double, light rank 4 Warrior. Quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 double or nothing from your deck to your hand. Then there's someone 1 extra deck Utopia Xyz monster, except number 39 Utopia Double, by using this face-up card as material, and if you do, its attack becomes double. They cannot attack directly. This trees an Xyz summon, transfer materials to the summon monster. Each effect number 39 Utopia Double once per turn. So basically it lets you to just transfer into another number. And we have Gagaga Girl, which allows you, if you control Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, Dododo card as material, detach a card, add 1 Gagaga Onomat Xyz card from deck to the hand. So each effect of Gagaga Girl once per turn. And if Utopia Future Monster has this card as material, is Xyz summoned, you can make a second attack during the main phase. And then we have Gagaga Magician, Dark, rank 4, Spellcaster. You can detach 1 material on this card, target 1 Xyz monster in your grave except Gagaga Magician. Magic summon it, negate its effects. Utopic Future monsters, Xyz you control gains its effect. You can detach 2 materials from this card, target 1 Xyz monster you control until the end of the turn, make its attack 4k, also negate its effects. So these are just extension cards, that's all I'm in there for. And they're good to have. And then one of the main starters for the Utopic combo is Utopic Sage. A light, level 4, rank 4 warrior. You can detach 2 materials from this card. Summon 1 ZW or ZS monster from your deck. Also, for the rest of the turn, you can only attack with number monsters. And you cannot summon from the extra deck except Xyz monsters, which is fine. You only use effect of ZS Utopic Sage once per turn. If Utopia, your Utopic Xyz monster you control whose original attribute is light will be destroyed by battle or card effects, except Utopic Sage, you can banish this card from your field or grave. So it gives your Utopias extra protection. And the bridge card for the Mitsurugi names, which is King of Pharaoh Imps. Once per turn, you detach from this card. And a reptile. That's all it does. Number 39, Utopia. He is battle negates. The only reason you run him because you kind of have to. He's good though. He helps. I've actually used his battle negates before. Utopia Prime. This inherently is just to rank up into more names. You can cut this card for anything you like, really. I found running the additional rank up card. It's not really needed anymore. So I've been just running other stuff. You can still run it if you like. I actually forgot this was in here. So I'm still going to go over it. Its effects are kind of mitigated. You just basically, if your opponent has 3,000 life points higher than you can detach 2 materials from this card. Pay life points so you have 10 left. Destroy as many monsters from your opponent controls. And if you do, banish them and inflict 300 damage to each of your opponents for each monster banished. Basically, this is all for nothing card. Basically, you're going to lose, use Prime, but it never really comes up. Also, I don't really run it anymore, so it's there if you need to. You can cut it. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. This is a retrain of C number 39C, Utopia Ray. Once per turn, you can detach from this card. Equip one ZW monster from your deck or extra deck to this card as if it was equipped by that monster effect. This effect and activation cannot be negated. Once per turn, when this card is equipped with the ZW monster, quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, and if you do, have its attack. Which is good. It gives you another monster negate. You get 2 with this card alone. Then we have number 90, Galaxy Ice Photon Lord, a light, rank 8. If this has a photon card as material, it cannot be destroyed by battle, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Each of the following effects of number 90, Galaxy Ice Photon Lord, once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, negate the monster's effect, and if it was a galaxy card, destroy the card. During your opponent's turn, you can take one photon or galaxy card from your deck, either add it to your hand or attach it to this card as material. So yeah. You can inherently run a galaxy card just to make sure you get a pop with Photon Lord. You generically could. But then you would have to run the risk of drawing into it or blah, 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 this or that or the other thing. So I think not having the pop is fine. And the card that everyone loves to see, number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Clad Galaxy. 2 level 8s, he's a rank 8 light dragon. Once per turn when a spell or effect is activated, you in the field, you can quick effect, negate the activation, and if you do, attach that card to this card as material. Then whenever your opponent activates, a monster declares an attack, you can detach one material from this card, change the attack to this card, and perform damage calculation. Another face-up exceeds monster you control by battle a card effect. You can target one face-up exceeds monster you control, gain attack equal to the one of the destroyed original attack of the original monster. And lastly, we have number 99, Utopia Dragnar, light, rank 12, warrior, 3k, 3k. Quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, summon one extra deck number 1 through 100, and its name is a Treason XC summon, then you activate this effect. The turn you activate this effect, other monsters you control cannot attack directly. Also, you know someone from the extra deck for the turn, except Xyz monsters. And then when your opponent declares an attack, you can change the attack of the opponent's monster to 0 using each effect of Utopia Dragnar once per turn. So, that's the list. Basically, you're using your in-deck in-deck cards to make a bunch of Xyz, and then the Mitsurugi names are just for follow-up plays, or playing into your other cards. But yeah, that's some good stuff. I'm going to go over some random cards to be careful of, or you can play as well. Baguska, it's just a turn skip card. If it's in defense, turns off all cards. Because it negates all face-up monsters in defense position, but it turns everything in defense. Gagaga Cowboy, I've lost the time recently, and because of that, I recommend running Cowboy, just siding it, because you can burn for enough to make sure you get the game due to time rolls. Be careful of Droll. Droll hurts like crazy, but due to the other cards, Droll's not really terrible, but it's not great. Imperm is just you can run a third Imperm if you like, instead of the trap, but I like the trap. I already went over Kage. And lastly is Permamathmech Alba. I don't know how to pronounce this thing's name. But this could be also another cross or bridge into the Mitsurugi cards if you absolutely have to. The deck can run enough extension where you can make it no problem, especially with Kage. But it takes a lot of effort to make, and the Mitsurugi names just kind of become moot at that point. But yeah, I do believe this deck is very fun. I've had plenty of success against K9, Vengeful K9, and Yummy. Yummy's still annoying though because they can inherently just bounce and play with the boards as you're trying to make it. But if you have a made board with this deck, your opponent, your Yummy monsters, the Yummy opponent has a hard time playing against, especially if you just focus on the Mitsurugi cards that turn. Another thing, you could side the Futsu if you just want to keep resurrecting your Mitsurugi cards. You run enough things where siding a Futsu would not be the end of the world, and you can go into King really early with this deck without using a normal summon. So you could inherently truly go for the Futsu. And you just want to keep cycling. Just be wary if you do that, you might want to make sure you're not locking yourself into anything, which I don't think you can other than Xyz. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'll do some combos for it here shortly. But until next time, this has been the Cardman's Cards. I am the Cardman. Keep collecting. Bye.